Hello, man. Mgtow Stan here. I want to talk about today regarding Nawalts or unicorns. Do they exist? And I feel like it is important to speak about this because, as the Mgtow community, and for that matter, the Red Pill community, there are still men who I feel like believe in these women who claim to be red pilled and to be like special, defending their interests. And this is leading to seeking their validation in one way or another and throwing other men under the bus. And I want to address it from my perspective because maybe it will help out there. Now, first of all, in order to be accurate, I had to look into these women's channels because as soon as I discovered Mgtow and I realized what the female nature is, I stopped watching all female channels. And the only channel that I think would remotely regard itself as red pill is the one of Laura Southern. I don't know how to pronounce that. And yeah, but I had to look into more channels than that. Now, the first one I looked was Nuclear Tot or Nuclear Bot, and as soon like it seemed like a small channel, and I laughed my ass off. The first video that I saw was her talking in front of the camera with her breast halfway exposed. I mean, this is self-explanatory, but I will explain nonetheless. Why would you unzip your shirt before talking about female nature? It is clearly hypocritical, but most men cannot swallow and deal with the truth. The next one is Laura Southern. Was following her during these troublesome times. But now that I know about female nature, I look at her with new eyes. I knew there was something off about her when, for example, she said that in the beginning she was one of these NGOs supposedly taking care of children, and then she realized that they're all fake and they just take pictures of with the kids and take the money. And next thing, she was I remember in one video she was mentioning that she was happy that she finally, air quotes, made it. And she was complaining that she was demonetized or something like that. So clearly she's in it for the money. A professional poser. The other one I saw was Georgia Free. And I saw a couple of videos of her. They seem to be a little bit better quality. The first one that popped up was How to Red Pill a Woman. From what I managed to sit through, it was just woman talking blank stuff. It didn't have too much consistency, and I didn't believe her for a second. I think she's a stage actor or chasing some sort of interest for sure. I mean, Undead Chronic roses her, I think, more than once. So you have to decide for yourself. But I think that the message she's putting out, if you look at her actions and even into her eyes, so to say, you'll see that I think she's like reading off a script and she don't really give a shit about you. because she's not part of us. That's the reality. The other one that I saw and then I had to stop because I think I had enough information was a very popular one. Now a lot of people on YouTube recommend her as you know defending men's rights. She on head. I mean, what struck me first of all was the professional sort of the very well administered makeup on her face. She looked very attractive. Now, the message. I actually watched more than 5 videos of her, and the messages were strong, but I just don't know if she's writing her script alone. And the thing is that on the surface it looks as if she's defending men's rights and she's exposing the feminists for what they are, but at the end of the day she's only talking about it, and that's what she always do. And the only time when we started to free ourselves as men from women's oppression is when we ourselves started to talk about female nature and how we are being beaten to the dirt, not only by feminism and by the other half of humanity, but also by institutions like government, courts, police, society, and so on. So to say that these females are contributing to Mgtow community, or for that matter the red pill community, for me it's laughable, because males need to lead the way and free themselves without the help of women. If we rely on them in any way, we are doomed to fail. Because think about it, if you for a second believe that a woman can be in the same state of mind as you automatically believe that you are able to find, this is how the man's brain is wired, you automatically believe that you are able to find a lover, a bride for life. And this automatically means that you want to provide for her and defend her and so on, which means that you start to be like a slave to her. You're going back on the plantation. So not only does not matter what I think this woman's message is, because even if it is true, it does not benefit you unless you yourself start realizing and talking about it. So at the end of the day, when the shit hits the fan, I'm guaranteeing you that these females will not be on our side. You go her way, or she puts horns on you. That's a slang saying for cheating. Oh, that reminds me of a conversation I heard in the gym of these two chicks. And they were talking about how, I mean, first of all, why are women allowed in the same room as guys in the gym? Second of all, they were talking about how one of the women, I think they were like middle age, but not. I think one of them was 20 something. Anyway, so these two chicks are talking about how she cheated on her husband. Basically, she didn't put it this way. She said that she released one of her acquaintances at a party without her husband knowing, and this basically is continuing, and it's saving her marriage because she feels like doing whatever her husband wants in bed because she feels guilty. What kind of fucked up mind is that? And these are like regular chicks I just encountered in the gym, and I wasn't even eavesdropping. I was just lifting my weights there. So, with this in mind, you gotta wonder. You remember that they have perfected acting to such a degree that you can never tell from behind a computer screen whether or not they're lying or what exactly is going on in their mind. But I can guarantee you with my life that no women on YouTube is taking to heart men's rights. Like many Mgtows have um, exposed female nature as a nature of a creature that cannot love the same way as men do. They can only purely see you for your resources. So if I think that these women possess the quality to, like a businesswoman, they know where they feel where the demand is, and they have the brain capacity to set up videos regarding these problems. They know what the problems are. They know what men want, and they are telling you what you want to hear. And yeah, regarding Nawalt, this is what I think. They don't exist. They will never exist. They cannot exist. They can mimic it. They can chameleon themselves to what you want them to be for this short period of time of 10-20 minutes videos. But in real life, they probably are like a normal female looking after um, chasing like rich guys and wanting dress, shoes, generally seeking like to only happiness, disregarding as soon as the video goes away, the care for humanity and men goes away with it. So if you're fine with that, then I don't think you deserve to call yourself a Mgtow. Maybe you can get away being a red pill, but if you seek their validation, I don't think you can call yourself red pill as well. And other things that are important in realizing that there are no unicorns is when men need to realize fully what it means to stop seeking validation from women. Because, for example, this can lead to the fact of the matter of separations within Mgtow. Like, I don't like this separation of, for example, incels and Mgtows and your tiers of Mgtow based off for example, let's take first of all the tiers within Mgtow that I think Zangari talked about, that one guy was mentioning, that there should be tiers within Mgtow based off how many women you've slept with, and if you haven't slept with women, then you can be a man going on your own way. I think also what was his name? Yeah, there were some Mgtow producers that talk about it. But think about it. You're putting yourself on a pedestal, first of all, and then you are seeking validation from society, and I think also you're seeking validation from women in particular with this statement, because there is no way otherwise for you to separate yourself from men who need your help, because this is what I believe we are here as Mgtow. We are men. This acronym wasn't existing 5 years ago. We are men who found out about female nature, and we are seeking help within ourselves. We are seeking mental help. We are seeking, some of Mgtow are seeking financial help, like Sandman. He's relying on this income. We want to feel part of something. And you deny this help for what? Because you fucked 30 chicks and this guy over there fucked 2. Fuck you. You're not a Mgtow, you're seeking validation. And particularly from women, because if you're not a blue-pilled man, who the fuck gives a fuck how many women you fucked? Only the blue-pilled cucks care about that and boast about it. You still have, I don't mean to offend anybody, but you still have, if you're thinking like this, you still carry the residue of the blue pill culture and mentality. So this is why I wanted to make this video, to try and explain to you the reasons why there are no unicorns within women, and you don't really gain anything from seeking and receiving female validation. You can only lose. You can, as soon as you start seeking and receiving female validation, you're outside of the manosphere. Want it or not, you're starting to go towards the other side. And you're becoming a mangina. And this is the sad reality. So either drop it down or drop down the label. I didn't mean this to sound in such an extreme way, because I know a lot of men still like to chase the pussy. But it needs to be said, because although we are not a community and we don't hate on women, we still need to follow certain, at least some guidance, so that we feel okay within, when commenting on YouTube and within our social circles on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is regarding the incel and Mgtow separation. The incel community have suffered a lot, okay? They have, I don't know if you can feel the same way that I feel, but I can feel for these guys like nobody else, I think, can within the Mgtow community. Some of them have been driven, okay, many of them are probably too narcissistic, like this guy Elliot, who went on a shooting spree. But the fact of the matter is that the incel men need help. They are feeling they are like isolated. They haven't made it in life for one reason or another, and I think it is because they failed on some initial tests of life, and then it snowballed because our community nowadays is dumbing down men to the point where those who are not strong enough get bashed to the ground. Even more extreme than before. I think that, for example, in the Middle Ages, there was enough space and work for a larger percentage of society, and also there were less people. While now, if you have like 1% of people who cannot adapt to the society, you have a huge amount of people. And I believe, like, for example, Mr. Elliot, he have been in the military. I might have been in the military, and we don't leave men behind. We don't leave men behind. And as far as I'm concerned, incels are the type of people who need our help the most. Don't help people who behave like jerks and they continue to feel like they are black pilled and they are depressed all the time. Leave these people, but at least give them a hand, give them a chance. I tell you what, I think that you gotta give like a year for the incel community to produce some quality Mgtow men. Okay, and I can guarantee you that you're gonna have some real zealots. And I believe that in order for a philosophy to grow, you need to have people who embrace it, like Igor and like Sandman and like many others. There are hundreds of thousands. I believe if we are able to reach to the entire world, our numbers will be approximately 50% of men. And the rest will follow as soon as they understand what is going on. Because some men are just followers. So that is what needs to happen. And to summarize it, do Nawalts exist? No. All women are the same. Stay together. Stay strong, Mgtow. And help each other. Because we are all that we have. You might regard family as something that is on a higher pedestal than this community, but I can tell you that I have seen some really good men, like this guy, Mayor of London. You have a really good society within us, and the older you get, the less you can rely on your father and your mother. And I believe that friendship is vital, because if you are an old man and you rely only on your wife, boy, I have seen some horror stories. I think friendship must last for life, and we should try and do the best that we can within the Mgtow community, because I believe that we are the future. But the future, our future, cannot be secured with women infiltrating it. And they will infiltrate it as soon as you allow them to be in your heart in one way or another, as soon as you see yourself as seeking their validation. This is it, gentlemen. Mgtow Stan signing out.
The education, I got the grades, I got the job, I got the praise, I got the promotion, I got the raise. I played the game of life like a fucking boss. I did everything right and still fucking lost. I made one wrong move and my mistake was this. It was having a teammate to play the game with. Cause in relationships, nothing really defends me, cause the system has completely been skewed against me. Led to believe I was so fortunate, was duped my whole life and it's annoying as shit. If the system's my parents, I'm in an orphanage. You're damn right I'm backing out, I ain't supporting this.